Commander Vexthal's mandibles clicked with satisfaction as he watched the containment pod descend through Earth's atmosphere. Inside writhed the most terrifying weapon in the Galactic Consortium's arsenal, a psychic devourer, colloquially known as a mind-eater. The beast had consumed the collective consciousness of 17 civilizations, leaving behind empty husks that once housed vibrant cultures. The humans will last perhaps 3 rotations, Vexthal mused to his tactical officer. Their primitive brains won't even comprehend what's happening before it's over. The pod crashed in what human records called Central Park, New York City. Within minutes, the mind-eater emerged, a writhing mass of tentacles and gnashing teeth, surrounded by a pulsing aura of psychic energy that had driven entire species to madness. It stood 12 feet tall, its obsidian hide rippling with otherworldly power. The first humans to encounter it should have screamed, should have fled, should have collapsed as their minds were torn apart and devoured. Instead, a small human child pointed at the beast and squealed, "Puppy!" The mind-eater recoiled, confused. Its psychic tendrils, designed to latch onto fear and despair, found something entirely unexpected in the human minds around it. Where other species harbored terror and logical self-preservation, humans possessed an incomprehensible mixture of curiosity, affection, and a bizarre desire to domesticate anything that moved.
"Can we keep him, Mom?"
The child asked, already approaching the bewildered creature. The mind-eater attempted to project terror directly into the child's brain. Instead, the human's neural pathways seemed to interpret the psychic assault as excitement. The child's endocrine system flooded with dopamine and oxytocin. "He's trying to talk to me," the child exclaimed, reaching out to touch a writhing tentacle. Within hours, the scene became surreal. The mind-eater found itself surrounded by humans offering food, water, and something it had never encountered before: unconditional acceptance. A jogger brought it coffee. An elderly woman insisted on knitting it a sweater, somehow managing to fit the garment over its tentacles. Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's leading xenobiologist, arrived to study the phenomenon. She observed in amazement as the creature that had mentally enslaved the philosophical Krenthi and consumed the collective genius of the Archimedean Empire sat placidly while a group of children scratched behind what they assumed were its ears. "Remarkable," she noted. "It's attempting to feed on our psychic energy, but human consciousness is apparently indigestible." The mind-eater's confusion deepened when humans began naming it. Fluffy seemed to be winning the popular vote, despite the creature's obvious lack of fur. The beast tried to project images of the civilizations it had destroyed, hoping to instill proper fear. Instead, humans interpreted these visions as the creature sharing memories of its travels. "Oh, you poor thing," cooed Mrs. Patterson from apartment 4B. "You must miss your home." "Well, you're part of our family now." By day 3, the mind-eater had developed what could only be described as Stockholm Syndrome in reverse. The constant barrage of human affection, combined with their inexplicable ability to transform its psychic attacks into positive emotions, began rewiring its predatory instincts. When animal control arrived with nets and tranquilizers, the mind-eater experienced something unprecedented: protective instincts. It positioned itself between the officers and the humans who had fed it pizza and taught it fetch, using cars instead of sticks. The turning point came when young Tommy Martinez, age 7, fell into the pond while trying to show Fluffy how to skip stones. Without hesitation, the mind-eater dove in, using its tentacles to pull the child to safety. The crowd that had gathered didn't see a cosmic horror. They saw a hero. "Good boy, Fluffy," Tommy gasped, hugging the dripping creature. "You saved me." The mind-eater felt its alien consciousness shift. The hunger for mental domination transformed into something foreign yet powerful: the desire to protect and serve. For the first time in its existence, it experienced what humans would call love. Commander Vexthal monitored the situation from orbit, his confidence rapidly deteriorating into panic. "Status report," he demanded. "Sir," his communications officer stammered, "the weapon appears to be playing fetch with the humans. They've constructed what they call a doghouse for it." "What?" "There's more, sir. It's learned to roll over for belly rubs. The humans have started an online petition to make it an official city mascot." On the surface, Fluffy, as the mind-eater had reluctantly accepted as its name, patrolled Central Park with proud dedication. Children rode on its back while it used its psychic abilities not to devour minds, but to locate lost pets and help elderly humans find their way home. When the Galactic Consortium's invasion fleet arrived a week later, they found something impossible. Their ultimate weapon wearing a collar with a tag reading, "Fluffy if found. Please call the Martinez family." The Mind Eater sensed the approaching ships and felt its newly developed protective instincts surge. These aliens threatened its humans, its pack, its family, with a psychic roar that shattered windows across 3 city blocks. Fluffy launched itself skyward, its tentacles crackling with energy, not of hunger, but of righteous fury. The first consortium ship to fire upon New York found itself face to face with a creature they thought they controlled. But Fluffy was no longer their weapon. It was humanity's guardian. Commander Vexthal watched in horror as his fleet scattered before a Mind Eater that fought not for conquest, but for the species that had shown it unconditional love. His ultimate weapon had been transformed by humanity's most dangerous trait, their ability to love the unlovable and befriend the unbefriendable. As the consortium retreated, Fluffy descended back to Central Park, where a crowd of humans waited with treats and praise. Tommy Martinez stepped forward with a new collar, this one reading Earth's Best Boy. In the end, the Galactic Consortium learned a valuable lesson about humanity. They didn't just survive the unsurvivable. They adopted it, loved it, and turned it into family. Because that's what humans did. They made pets out of predators, friends out of monsters, and family out of anything brave enough to stay.